everyone, this is Charlotte and this podcast called Chatting and Doing Stuff. It's where I talk about random things, possibly that have led on from previous discussions, but you know. There's a disclaimer at the start of this podcast because I do talk about sensitive topics, adult topics primarily, and I do swear a lot because I am an adult and this is made for adults 18 plus. So if any kids are watching this, you're in deep shit. And I will tell your parents. I'll dob, I don't care. The topic for today is jealousy. And we're all subject to it because we're all human. We've all got that human margin of error. So no one can say they are completely clean in this. We've all been jealous about something. It's human nature to, you know, desire things or feeling secure about other people or other thing, or, you know, what they've got, or it's there. We've got it. The emphasis on acknowledging that you've got jealousy over something potentially could be to do better. I mean, for an instance, if you're jealous of someone who's got, I don't know, a better car or something, just maybe that's your chance to upgrade yourself and work harder to get what you need. If you are jealous of someone else's partner, maybe you need to upgrade and start thinking what you're doing. I don't know. Maybe there's potential for change there. I remember in my 20s, early 20s, I was jealous. This is my ex-boyfriend now. I was douchebag though he is now. He had a girlfriend at the time. I think it was a girlfriend. Even now I was naive to the situation. I'm like, I think that's your girlfriend. I don't know if that's your girlfriend. I think honestly it was an open relationship, but I didn't recognize it at the time because, you know, I was like young and dumb. But I liked this guy who was my ex-boyfriend at the time, developed a crush, eventually slept with him in my early 20s, which was a fucking mistake because he wasn't anything basically, and that was his lifestyle at the time, just to sleep with whatever he could find, which is something he's carried on now. He'll sleep with whatever he can find. So any girl that sort of cheated on me with him, you could be a fucking watermelon, you'd have a fucking go. This is not a medal of honor for you that you got one over on someone. He is just gonna fuck anything. You were just in the way when he did it. So, you know, he's desperate. But the thing is, he was with this girl called Jess, who I later decided was actually a really nice person. But at the time I painted her as the villain because she had what I wanted and I was jealous of her, and how dare you, because I'm the better match, of course, and you know, shit like that. The naive shit you do in your 20s because you're like, I am the shit, of course I am, everyone should want me sort of shit, you know. The pumped up ego. Not that I had anything really to my name. I was still, you know, even training to get my basic education degree. I didn't have any money. I was, you know, renting. It was like my lifestyle wasn't great in any case. But, you know, in our early 20s, we pump ourselves up to believe that we deserve things, regardless of whether there's any evidence based on, you know, if you deserve it or if you've worked for it or anything like that. It's just like, I'm hot. I deserve that. Later, do you recognize that maybe even if you want this person or this thing, that it's probably not a good idea, because with more information, exposure to the thing that you're craving, things become a lot clearer that this person or this experience was actually shitty. Dude, I have eyes. I know when I'm breaking. And that example only came with time. You know, 16 years later, I actually got a chance to date the guy. And it was an absolute fucking mess because in that 16 years he still hadn't matured to the level of being a decent boyfriend. He was still playing the same tricks as he was in his 20s, trying to get laid and drunk and just party at the hedonist lifestyle where he doesn't want to face responsibility or take accountability for the damage he's doing. He just wanted the fun bit of the process and fuck anything that happens afterwards. There's no sense of long-term view as to what you're doing with your actions with people. I was thinking, oh, but we're such a good match, and you know, we've got a shared heritage and shit like that, and oh, he shouldn't be with her because she's a fucking mess. She was actually the one that was holding him together, to be honest. She was the one that instigated, as far as I can tell, them building a house together. And this was the same for the one that came after it. It's these guys use their girlfriends to prop their image up. So you will look at these people and you will say, oh my god, they've got all this stuff and this girl thinks highly of him enough to stay, and you start to develop and put them on a pedestal. You develop this image of what they could be, but realistically, once you actually get the turn of interacting with this person, you'll find that they're assholes and they'll fuck you over. What are you doing, dude? If they can benefit from doing so. Because to you, well, that particular example, to you it's this person of, oh my god, he's awesome and he's a mature man, and oh, he's so laid back and fun and stuff like that. But the reality of the situation is they present an image that can be, it's a false image of what could be, and you're willing to put them on a pedestal because you crave and you want this person, you've got this crush on this person. But the reality of the situation is they're not that at all, and you've glorified them essentially. Put them on the pedestal and said, this person is wonderful, I deserve better than that person, I want this person for me, sort of thing. And the jealousy starts to accumulate, and I really developed a hatred for Jess. And I'm sitting there thinking later on, after I've come to know this male, I can't even call him a man, but after I've come to know what it's like to be with him, how he treats people and stuff like that, I got that greater insight into what the situation is. And I look back on what kinds of things she was doing. Like, we were going to I went to a couple of house parties that were being hosted by those two, and when I was throwing up, she was holding my hair back, and when we were doing stuff, she was asking if I was okay. He wasn't. He didn't give a fuck. By stuff I mean stuff not drugs or anything, but you know, adult stuff. She was the one actually showing concern, and she actually gave a fuck more than he did. And when it came to trying to put down roots or anything like that, she was the one building houses with him. So this person I had created to be the villain was not a villain at all. It was only my own jealousy and insecurity and thinking that I deserved this person, who in effect wasn't a great person to begin with, that I demonized her. And you know, and she didn't deserve it at all, I don't think, because she was actually quite nice. She was more of a mum figure than I imagined. And then it comes with hindsight and understanding the context of the situation in reality. Looking back at the things she actually did, she was never a nasty person to me. She never said anything that was horrible. She never did anything that was horrible. She just had something I wanted. And that was me being an arrogant little shit, basically saying, I deserve it, fuck you. As you do in your 20s, because it's all about ego. You've just discovered you've got tits, and I deserve everything I can get because of them, you know. She was actually a really nice person. And I feel bad for that, because I think, you know, we could have had a decent friendship, maybe. She was somewhat a friend at the time, more of an acquaintance, but the friend that was my friend acquaintance after that also dated him, and he demonized her. But she was the one that was holding him down financially. She had the cleaning job, even if it was a cleaning. Before that, she had a degree in business, and she was propping him up financially that way. I didn't really demonize her, because I'm sitting there thinking, I saw what happened to the first one. And I know he's a bit of a leech, so I'm like, what's going on with this one? Now, I know that she was into like open relationships and stuff as well, but I'm sitting there thinking, is this because of him? Because the commonality is him. Every time I hear things that I feel might be negative or conflict with my morals and values, it's because there's a commonality, and the commonality was him. Did she do it because she wanted to? Or did she do it because she had to keep him around? Was she that insecure? And eventually their relationship failed. And I don't know if she's still into polyamory or anything like that, but at the same time, it's a case of, why do these events keep occurring, and we demonize the female or the person because we're jealous of them, without looking at the common factors which cause the problems in the situation. It's like, I don't get it. And later on, I'm thinking, it's like, you know, with the last social group, why are you on that line? With the last social group, I'm thinking, was I demonized because I was with him just the way I demonized Jess because she was with him. It's like, what tricks is he pulling that whoever he's with is evil, you know, apparently. And he'll claim that, what he did was he said Jess was evil because she went after him for, she sent divorce lawyers to him. I'm like, you were never married, so that's bullshit. You were at best in a de facto relationship, and that was because you had been in with one for years and you had common property together. That's probably the reason. She probably saved up the deposit for the fucking house. Yeah, and you were just leeching off her shit, basically. So of course she's going to go send lawyers to you, dumbass. And even then, I think they sold, the girlfriend that came before me bought the house off of Jess, or took on her half. And there's always a knock-on effect where these girls are just trying to stabilize, and some asshole guy is like, she's evil. No, she did the reasonable thing. If you've been sharing your assets for God knows how long, to the point where it's like houses and stuff, it's not just shared home contents. And yeah, you'd send someone to go and divide it civilly, knowing that this guy is a conniving little bastard. It's like, of course she's got to get a third party involved because she needs protection. What are you doing? He's right in that line. The one that came after was a girl called Lisa. I don't know if she sent anything lawyer-wise, but they were also in a declared de facto relationship. This was a legal status because you have to sign off on it. It's like being married, but it's not like being married, but you still have the paperwork that's registered with the government. I never signed that, so it never existed, so you can't get me that way, bitch. Never existed. You can't prove it. So that's, she signed on that, so they had to get all that paperwork cut off or whatever they did. But again, he called her crazy and stuff like that, and I'm sitting there going, she's not crazy, she just doesn't want to be with you anymore because you're a hurtful human being. If you'd have been a nice person. What he told me was that the feelings just died. I'm sitting there going, I'm looking at the way you're fucking your girlfriends, and I'm not surprised the feeling fucking died. I had trouble liking you at this point because you abuse women. So I didn't get jealous of her. I'm sitting there going, obviously there's a backstory here that I'm not understanding, which is why when I first started dating him, which wasn't even dating technically, it was him using me. The situationship is like, we're not together because he doesn't like labels or anything, but he'll want the benefits and the perks of seemingly being together. But we're not together because it's complicated and I don't like labels and I don't like plans. I'm sitting there going, you're just using me for sex. I'm a booty call to you. This is bullshit. But I didn't demonize her because I'm sitting there thinking there's something going on here that I don't quite know about. So I got in contact with her when I first started dating him. Whether it was her or not, or him just using a fake profile, I don't know, because he's the type to do it. But I asked her, what kind of a man is he? Is he worth dating? What's going on? What happened? What broke up your relationship and stuff like that? And she said, if this was her, that the problem was that he was too monogamous and he didn't like that she was not monogamous. So I thought, so that was the basis I was going on, which could have been misinformation, to be honest. It could have been him trying to push his agenda of perceived safety. Or it was a case of he was cheating on her as he cheated on me, but he just didn't bring it up. And he had a habit of omitting as well. So I'm like, you're a lying bastard. You lied to her, but she was already playing the same game, so maybe it didn't matter so much. And I'm sitting there thinking, I can't be jealous of this girl because she's already, first of all, she's playing the same game you are. I'm not. She's not, I say, as stable as me, mentally or financially or anything like that. And it's only later after you start looking into things like that, that's what made me a target with this particular fuckboy. She's doing all right. I'll go and use her resources like I use Jess's resources, like I use Lisa's resources. I will use her resources. I don't want to work anytime soon. I've got a job for now, but it's only out of necessity. As soon as that contract runs out, I'll feign affection for this woman. We'll be living together, and of course she'll pay for my shit because, I'm just waiting for the next job to turn up. He was in school at the time as well, or supposedly, or so he said. He finished one degree, so he says. He had enrolled in another one in a pretty fancy university. I'm sitting there going, I'm surprised you got into that one. And then suddenly he had to quit because the emotional strain of us breaking up, and going, that is fucking bullshit. That is fucking bullshit. What you're doing is you half-assed it, maybe dropped out because it might actually take effort, and then blamed me for it because I control your actions. It's like, no, you're just looking for a cop-out. You're looking for an excuse to quit. He was looking possibly also for pity. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't pity someone who's self-sabotaging. I don't, because there's no point. They're not going to learn from enabling them to fail. You need to tell them, grow the fuck up and get on with it. It's tough love, yes, and it can appear heartless, but at the same time, if you keep coddling them while they're actively failing, they'll take that on as the norm. It's like, you enabled it. It's okay, I'll bail you out. I'm not going to fucking bail you out. You're older than me for a start. Grow the fuck up. And in this particular context, he had a great mathematical mind. He was doing statistics or something like that. I expect you to be able to perform. It's like, don't come to me looking for a bailout when you have the upper hand in that particular course. It's like, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. You were meant to do that. You bailed on it because you're a pussy. I'm not here to clean up your mess. And every time we ended up getting back together, it was because he'd got me drunk and got me on the couch again. And I'm sitting there going, we back together because you still don't like labels. You still don't like plans. Like, we were never fucking together to begin with. I never took ownership, never said this is my person. It was always, it's complicated. And to be honest, I think he just posed me to his friends as some kind of fun time girl that just turned up to get laid. I'm sitting there going, I've never been that person. Which is why I was furious when that guy sent that "what you doing" tag, because I'm going, who the fuck do you think I am, motherfucker? And the ripple effect, if you can't have you, if you can't exploit you, he will exploit those around you, and he'll create an image of what you are, one that is a deterrent to guys around you, or something that is less than, so that you never get access to any of the people around him. The thing is to remember about that is his circle is so limited. You might have, cut me off from potentially finding any friends or boyfriends in that crowd, but you can't touch everything. You've got no effect on anything, to be honest, because who's to say these guys are actually on my fucking level? So I don't care. It's like, you're looking, if they can't have you, I can't. If I can't have you, they can't have you. I'm just like, I don't want any of you. You're all idiots. It's like, what is your point? They're delusional about the power and persuasion they have. So it was hard to get jealous about. Like, I didn't get jealous about anyone in that group, I don't think. Because I wasn't there for them. I was there for what I thought was my boyfriend, which turned out to be community dick. So it wasn't even my boyfriend. So there was no reason. And to be honest, I'm older, so there was this big age gap. I'm sitting there going, we're in different phases of our lives. Why would you get jealous about anyone in that group? Because we're not doing the same stuff. You're still all in your 20s. You're going out getting drunk and shit like that and making a fuckload of mistakes, as far as I can see. I didn't even live that way when I was that age. So it was weird. But then you would find, they didn't like me. And I'm sitting there going, well, maybe I'm the creepy old lady that hangs around looking for updos, or I'm perceived to be, because at my 20s, there was always some 40-year-old guy hanging around looking for scraps. I'm going, am I the female equivalent of that? And you just don't like me that way? Because I'm not looking for your boyfriends, dude. I see them as children. They are children. These 20-year-old boys. They're boys. I'm surprised you fuckers are with them. I have a strong, like with Alex was one of the girls, and she was quiet and she was all right. I never got any kind of feeling that she was pissed off with me or anything like that. But at the same time, her boyfriend was sitting there, and we'd sit at a table. I'd be sitting right next to mine, and I thought they were together, but again, no labels or no all this vague shit. And while she was on her shift, because they worked in a bar, while she was on her shift, her boyfriend be sitting there winking at me and shit like that, giving me like sort of shit. And he'd be rubbing his feet up against my leg, and I'm sitting there going, my boyfriend's right here, or my person who I perceive to be my boyfriend. What the fuck are you doing? I never understood that. are you taking the piss? Because I assumed when he was winking at me that maybe Alex was behind me. I'm just gonna go, oh, she must be behind me, and he's looking at you, naively. Because I'm like, you're like a little kid. What the fuck? And they all got those little rapist moustaches. I'm sitting there going, I'm not physically attracted to you either. I just like, you gotta be the weirdest little kid that's, is that a stick-on moustache? What the fuck? It's like, go away, grow some pubes. So why are you hitting on me? You got the fucking balls to assume I would even be interested. You got nothing running with you, you know? There's nothing to you. It's like, fuck off. I mean, some older women, maybe if they're quite desperate or a bit more damaged than me, would go, oh, a younger man looking at me. I'm going, fuck off, little boy. I don't have time for this. I don't know what the logic was. So maybe that would be a reason why she might not like me. And again, with the other girl, the one that was I'm pretty sure, like Billy, dare I say her name, I'm pretty sure she was banging my ex-boyfriend. She hated me. I could feel it. She hated me. And I don't know why, because I was only there for him. I wasn't there to start any fucking fights or anything like that. I don't know what your fucking problem was. It's like, I'm 20 years older than you. What is the problem? So that was some kind of weird insecurity. But, you know, one time I turned up with him and she got up and ran off. And I'm going, just strangely, after I found that hair clip, it's like, something here, some connection I've missed. Why are you avoiding me now? It's like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's like, I don't know what her deal was. See, there's little holes in the story that I just don't get. And it's partly because I don't understand, like, a lot of social cues. I'm going, we are in different phases of our life. I shouldn't have anyone angry or jealous of me because of who I am dating or perceived to be dating. He is age appropriate for me. He's not age appropriate for you. So why would you be jealous of me dating this guy unless you've previously fucked him and he didn't want anything to do with you afterwards? Which he's known for. He collects people. So maybe that was the case. And again, that's the same as me being jealous of Jess. Although you being jealous of me is absurd because he's old as fuck and he's got nothing to him. So if she dated him after me, after I left him, I hope she got some insight as to how fucking useless he actually is, like I did with Jess. It's only in understanding the context in which you find yourself in that you will actually understand where jealousy comes from, how it's formed. And to be honest, if once you got enough information, there's no need for it. You're like, why was I jealous of this fuck? And once I finished dating my ex situationship, it wasn't even an ex-boyfriend because he doesn't like labels, I know I would never go back because it's not a sound investment. It's so vague. You don't know what's going on. There's no point getting involved. There's nothing he can bring to the table, should we say, if you want to use that phrase. It's nothing to him. It's a wisp of a wasp of an illusion. It's a woo-woo. You're assuming this person is something worth having because you saw him with someone else. And it was the someone else that brought the value to his life. So once you get him in your hand, you're like, finally, I've got value too. You realize the value is not there. It's hollow or an illusion. And you're like, what the fuck was I fighting for? It doesn't make sense to be jealous of other people. Probably because you're not understanding context properly. The other thing is, like, you could be jealous of how people look or something like that. If it's, and that bleeds into things like social norms and values and things like that. I mean, for a large period of time, everybody thought Kardashians were attractive, and they got the weirdest disfigured bodies I've ever fucking seen. I'm going, that's all either Botox or implants, BBLs, big bowel movements, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know what it is, but it's not natural. It didn't grow there from birth, you know. And that's perceived to be at the time it was attractive. And you go, why would you be jealous of someone who's 99% plastic? Her ass is recyclable. Why would you go that way? It doesn't make sense. And you're thinking, people who are jealous of this maybe are jealous because of the mass consensus that is believed that this is attractive at the time. It's like, these are not naturally occurring elements in the human body. This person did not achieve this with any kind of stamina or like muscle growth or anything like that. It is literally an implant that she paid to put in. It is a cheat. She's cheating. You are glorifying and jealous of someone who cheated. Now, are you jealous of the body parts looking a particular way, or are you jealous of the money that it took to put them in? I'm trying to nail it down myself. I'm going, why are people, because it doesn't look right in any case, and it just costs money, and it's not even real. So it's, why are you jealous of this person? I still have trouble dealing with that shit. So you need to consider what parts of the problem are you creating in your own mind? Is it a prison of the mind, or do you genuinely have a deficit cause for this? There is a reason why you don't feel good enough and why you're insecure about this person, and so you develop jealousy. What is it? Find the root base of it, because it's probably not anything that's founded in any kind of anything. You're just making it up because it's, you know, it's a prison of mind. You're overthinking something. If you have, say, a large body, what the fuck are you doing? Maybe a large body, and you develop some kind of insecurity or jealousy about someone who does not have a large body. That is changeable. You can still change that if you want to stop feeling jealous and do something about it. I mean, that's one of the easier things to change. Your life circumstances would be a lot harder if you grew up in poverty like I do, or I did. It takes a lot more work over a longer time period to improve your life chances. So if you're jealous about someone who's got, say, a better house or something like better money, then there's still a chance that you could overcome that, because you just got to put your ass to the grindstone. But it's the sitting in the insecurity of, I can't achieve this. It's like, you probably could if you try, you know. And the ongoing concern for millennials right now is that we're never going to afford property because the boomers are holding on to it. It's like, I got a house in 3 years because I stopped fucking about and I got on with it. I put aside the illusion of the impossible, and I fucking got on with it. I worked. I did the traditional way of doing things. I didn't ask for a handout. I worked every day I could, and I cut expenses, and it's basically, if you watch the Spartan Pro podcast I'm going to do, it's basically that. It's just doing that, but with a consistency over a large period of time. It's not impossible. It just takes time and effort. They did have it easier, obviously, because of the context of the time. They had things like less inflation, stuff like that. But you can still apply the same principles to the situation. It will just take longer, basically. I'm gonna have to leave it there. I know it's a bit of a weird podcast. I don't know if it had any real structure to it. But it's at least one I can put on the podcast, and it's something you can listen to as white noise. I'm going to have to leave it there because I've just pulled up. I've got another podcast coming tomorrow, hopefully. I don't know what the topic is. I'm hoping you guys have a fantastic Tuesday. Take it easy. I've only got 8 more days to go. 7 more days. 7 more work days. And then I can get on to my projects. Tuesday. Take it easy, and I'll do another one soon.